Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, March 15th, 2022, and it's time for another episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we're going to tell you how youth are getting involved in aviation.
And I'm going to share with everybody my story of the Perry Swap Meet.
And we've got a preview of the upcoming April issue of Model Aviation magazine. All that and more coming up today on AMA Air. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
And I'm Lee Ray.
Hello, Lee. Welcome back from your trip to Perry.
Perry, Georgia is quite a trek, yes.
We're going to talk about that here in just a second. We've got a whole lot to talk to you guys about today. We've got a preview of Model Aviation magazine. We've got all sorts of stuff about youth and aviation that we want to share with you. It's going to be a great show. I hope you stay with us. Leave a comment down below and tell us hello. We'd love to see all you guys out there commenting and interacting in the chat. Lee, let's kick things off and start talking a little bit about your trip to Perry, because I've seen pictures. I've seen some posts. I want to know how that trip went.
And you saw a video.
I did see video. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you to Matt for saving my butt there. I won't lie. He helped me fix that video. So thank you, Matt. Hey, and guys, if you are in the chat room and you have been to Perry or you were at Perry and you saw me, I would love to hear your stories too. So tag along. Feel free to share with what you bought or things you sold. Guys, I can tell you I did another podcast for our show that was 2 hours long. I'm not going to bore you with that. I can just tell you I'm glad I went. If you've been listening, it has been a bucket list of mine for quite some time. And I'll tell you the truth. It was everything you expected. It was just massive. And my favorite joke or story to tell from our podcast was we had a couple of people who showed up in the morning to see one of the large rooms, and they were going, wow, this thing is great. And then the other person would say, well, have you seen the other two buildings? And they went, there's two other buildings. And it's just the comedy routine going on. But guys, it is amazing. 1,100 tables is what I was told from the Gamma RC group. And if you look at this photo here, that was taken early in the morning Friday, where you can see the tables were empty. That wasn't when everybody was there. That's just when we first got there. And then they quickly loaded up. And again, this story could go on forever, but I'll just tell you, it is amazing. Definitely plane driven, although there were some things like this boat right there, which, by that way, that boat's about 8 feet tall from the floor to the top of the mast. And we saw a guy. Cool. The best part is, like, I think I took this photo Friday, and then Saturday I saw the guy under his arm trying to haul it out. So, deals were made. I will say, oh, by the way, that's another thing. These photos right here, engines, tires, spinners, those were everywhere. If you wanted a deal on a glow engine, this is the place to go. They had so many. You could spend hours in one building, just looking at all those engines. And you got to go there with a plan. So I'm going to just step in and say, guys, if you've never been, definitely know if you're going to buy or if you're going to sell. Because if you're going to buy, you need to make sure you stay there, you watch your booth, maybe get two tables, because that's a little bit more presentable and decorated a bit, so people stop and look at your things. And if you're going to buy, have a list of things you want to do to purchase, and spend the time to go through all these boxes. One of my favorite vendors, and it's on the video, Matt. We go to this guy, he's got, 10 tables, and he stacked more tables on top of those tables to put kits. And, he had all these huge banana crates. And I think we all just said, where that banana crate guy is? Go that building, go to, tables down. But every crate was full. It's amazing. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Dylan. Dylan, you're amazing. So this is that table I was telling you about. And we just laughed, because if you look at all those banana crates on the sides, you could spend hours. So again, I'll say, go there with a plan. You'll have an appetite, so make sure you bring money for food too. But man, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I went. I had a great companionship. I took Fitz here with me, and our friend Kirk Jensen. from a local club, and we just had a great time driving there, a great time hanging out, and also a great ride home. So if you haven't put it on your list, you need to put the Perry Swap Meet in Perry, Georgia there. It's a lot of fun.
All this talk about banana crates, I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere about always having money in the banana crate. So there's a lot that I want to talk about here because, man, you've covered a lot of ground here. I want to go back first and foremost and talk about this big boat that you shared earlier.
Okay.
Because, and I only bring this up because I have some experience. And when I say some experience, I mean, like, I spent 2 hours at a pond with some folks with RC sailboats. Michael Smith, who's our museum director at the National Model Aviation Museum, is super into these into RC sailboats, and he let me come out and sail. I don't know what word to use, but sail one of his RC sailboats. I don't know if Lee, if you've ever been able to do that, but that is a blast.
Well, you know what? That's a great. I'm glad you brought this up because, in fact, I did bring a sailboat to sell, and just I'll throw a funny story. We put ads up for things we were selling online first, and people responded and would say, "Well, we'll meet you there at Perry." So I highly recommend that if you're going to go to Perry, put your ads up now. Oh, not now. I mean, before you go out there, and get that conversation going. Because, in fact, the funniest thing was Fitz sold something, I sold something to the same guy who, just found us online. So we ended up doing a transaction right there at Perry. But awesome. I did sell a sailboat because I have 3 others that are larger, not that large, but that are larger that I enjoy sailing more. The other one I had was a little smaller. So I feel like I got a great deal. Everybody was pleasant. I'm going to tack onto what Joe here. He said most of the pics, it didn't look very busy. It was busy, Joe. I think maybe that was just misleading, or maybe I was waiting for people to get out of my shot. Saturday, well, actually, I would probably say Friday was quite busy around noon. And then Saturday morning was really busy. And I don't know if he showed a photo, but there's, I was walking from one building to another, and these people with just planes, walking up to their cars. I remember this one guy walking his plane to a car, and I saw a guy pick up this huge P-51 right in front of me, and, just smiles abound. So it was very busy. And so definitely worth it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. And as someone who's takes photos at events like this quite a bit, it's actually a lot of times pictures make them look more kind of bare and barren than what they usually are. And I think it's just the nature of like the wide angle photos that our cell phones might take and things of that nature. And I'm saying a bunch of stuff that Joe probably already knows because he's a talented photographer too. But yeah, I'm not surprised that he probably got that impression. Yeah, that's awesome.
There we go. Yeah, I just love that guy. I've got tons of photos of people, but that was it. I mean, a lot of people came in very quickly, bought stuff, and left. So Saturday morning, there was a lot of this. People were getting their deals and heading out. And I was surprised. I'll add this to our little conversation, Matt, because you might be surprised. They shut down. Well, I don't want to say the Georgia area modelers do, but the people shut down that event early. Like by noon, half the people were gone, half the vendors. And I think I understand why now, because a lot of people are trying to travel back to their state. And so we did a 13-hour drive, there and back. So we probably would have benefited from leaving a little early, going to stay in Mississippi, and then, get at a reasonable time on Sunday. So that makes more sense. I think the closing time was 5 o'clock. No, I think by 3 o'clock, everything was
gone. Yeah.
So you do want to get there early enough on Saturday to get all the deals you can before a lot of people are trying to head out to leave. But anyway, it was a lot of fun.
Well, one of the things you did while you were there was you put together a kind of a walk around video. I think you live streamed it with Fitz Walker, who's one of the guys from the RC Roundtable, with yourself, and then Tony Stillman, who's our technical safety director here at the AMA. They did an excellent kind of walk around live stream. They did a fantastic job. If you guys want to really see and kind of experience what that was like on Friday, I would encourage you to go check that out. It's on the AMA YouTube channel. If you head over there, you can see that. And there is Tony and Fitz in the flesh, doing a great job, just kind of chatting it up. And they go around and talk to vendors and kind of show you some of the really cool things that they had seen at the show. it was a great time to watch that. So I would encourage you guys to go check that out if you want to see more of the Perry Swap Meet.
Yeah. I want to add that was the first time I had done a live show for the AMA, and I was pleasantly surprised with how many people were in the chat room with us. We had 2 people from other countries. I think it was from France and Germany. And this one guy from France who was watching the live feed says, we have nothing like that here in France. So I'm glad we got to share that with other countries.
That's fantastic. I love that. That's great. There's Andrew Griffith.
Andy Griffith.
Yep. He is.
He's a hoot, guys.
one of our district officers from down in, I think it's from Jacksonville. I think is his home area there. But
he's a Florida man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see him on there as well. So again, that video is up on the AMA YouTube channel. So be sure to go check that out if you're interested in seeing more.
Hey, Joe, I got to tell you, there was a great. I love your comment. Look for balsa there next year. We passed by a table that had an estate sale. Some gentleman had gathered this gentleman's work and he had tons of stuff, but there was this one bin of balsa and Fitz goes, how much for the bin? He goes, I'm not selling that. He knows the price. So I think if you had balsa there, it would do well. Just FYI.
That's awesome. Well, guys, if you missed out on the Perry Swap Meet, guess what? There is a whole lot more for you guys to see coming up all over the country in the next month or two. First of all, the Toledo Swap Meet. That is going on April 1st and 2nd. You guys can check that out by going to ToledoRCSwapMeet.com. That is at the Seagate Convention Center. If you guys had been to the Toledo RC show or in the last few years, it's the same location that event was at. This kind of took its place when they decided to shut down for good, and it's a great event, great swap meet. You guys want to go check that out. We had some AMA representatives there last year. And I think Tony Stillman was actually there last year, as a matter of fact. So go check that out for sure. ToledoSwapMeet.com. That, again, is happening April 1st and 2nd.
I think that'll be on my list for next year.
I think it should be. There's such great history in that area for these types of shows. Again, the Toledo RC show had been around for
Weak Signals
50. The Weak Signal show over 50 years, I think. And it's so much history there and so much legacy that's being continued on by this swap meet as well. There's also another event which I've not been to before, but is on my list, and that's Sun and Fun. That's going on down in Lakeland, Florida on April 5th through the 10th. Guys, this is a show that you don't want to miss out on. There's so much there to see. It's one of the bigger events throughout the year. We've got something very special for you guys. We have a discount code for you guys. If you are a current AMA member, you'll need to go log into modelaircraft.org. And once you log in, you'll go to modelaircraft.org/suninfun to get that discount code, and you'll get $7 off your admission to that event. So if you're wanting to go take advantage of that. I think, man, just seeing this video that they have on their website, I want to go. I want to go real bad.
It's good promo, man. That's like Air Venture EAA promo material right there. So they're competing hard, right?
Yeah, they got the Thunderbirds, so much full scale stuff going on there. It's just a really cool event. So go check that out for sure. Again, you'll need to be logged into to modelaircraft.org and be a current member to get that discount code and take advantage of that. If you go to that modelaircraft.org/suninfun, you'll see that discount code there. And you'll just click the little logo, the Sun and Fun logo. That'll take you to where you need to go to get your to purchase your tickets. RCX is also coming up, and we've talked about that a little bit.
Next week.
Next week. Yes, I was like, I got lost.
What is Lee doing?
I thought you said last week. I was like, it wasn't last week.
That was backwards for you, I guess.
The RCX Radio Control Expo is coming up March 26th and the 27th. That's, again, just a couple of weeks. Out in Pomona, California, back in our old stomping grounds when we were having AMA Expo the last couple of years out there in Pomona at the Fairplex. So you guys are not going to want to miss out on this. They're going to have all sorts of stuff going on, outdoor flying, surface vehicles, boats, helicopters, you name it. All that stuff is going to be there. If you go to rcx.com, you can learn more. And if you use the code AMA3D, you can get $3 off of your ticket price. We're going to have some AMA folks out there as well. My boss, Mark Benson, is going to be there. You can go say hi to him, and I'm sure he'd love to have a chat with you.
We should come up with a game, though. I think if you spot Mark Benson and you go with the secret buzzword, you get some discount somewhere. I don't know.
You're trying to get me fired, aren't you?
Get some AMA bling. give him a sticker at least so he can hand out. So if you find Mark Benson,
ask him if code Chuck will get you any kind of discount from. Oh man, Mark will be there.
Yeah,
Mark will be. He's a good guy. You guys want to say hi to him. Also, the RC Geek is going to be there. Chris Wolf is going to be there as well. If you guys have not seen his work in person, do yourself a favor. That guy is an incredible talent when it comes to building and modifying stuff. It's just having a conversation with him about building is something you want to put on your list of things to do.
Actually, just a fun guy too. I just chat with him every now and then to talk and see how he's up. And he's got a great laugh and he'll make jokes. So yeah, you'll have fun hanging out with Chris up there. I loved meeting him at the expo back in 2019. And it was just amazing to see some of his little demonstrations there. So look forward to, you guys will anyway. Have fun meeting him.
People were learning so much from him just in the demos that he was doing out on the show floor. There's so much to learn there. And hey, if you've not subscribed to his YouTube channel, RC Geek, go check him out. Definitely worth it. There's also an event going on down in Arizona. I believe it's in Gilbert, Arizona, if my memory serves and my notes are correct. And it's a really cool event going on that's being put on by STEM+C. It's called Taking Flight 2022, and this event is really geared toward STEM related activity and getting youth involved in aviation. And we invited the contest director, his name is Paul Kaup, to be on the show today. Unfortunately, I guess fortunately for him, he's on an airplane on the way to Hawaii right now. So needless to say, he couldn't make it. But our producer Dylan reached out to him and was able to get him to record a little video for us to kind of tell you a little bit about his event. We thought it was really important to share with you guys. So we're going to toss it to this video from Paul Kaup. Again, this is STEM+C. And it's about Taking Flight 2022 in Gilbert, Arizona. Take it away, Paul.
Hey, good morning to the AMA. And this is Paul Kaup with STEM+C out here in Gilbert, Arizona. First off, I just want to say thank you so much to the AMA for supporting Taking Flight this year with the balsa gliders and the alphas and the various things that we're going to use for either giveaway items or for raffle prizes at the event. Thanks to Kyle and Emily. All is totally appreciated. All this stuff will come together and make the day just a really fun day for the kids and for the people that attend the event. So anyway, my name is Paul Kaup, and I'm an AMA member. I've been an AMA member now for, I don't even know, at least 10 to 12 years. The event that I'm holding is called Taking Flight. It's Saturday, April 9th out here in Gilbert, Arizona. It's at one of our parks, and the park that we're having it is absolutely perfect for this event. It's a huge, wide open park with playground facilities and bathroom facilities. We have power. We have very large picnic areas with shaded areas for us to be in. So I couldn't ask for a better spot for the event this year, Taking Flight. The gist of the event is to get kids. And what I mean by kids, a kid could be a big kid like me, anybody from kindergarten all the way to an age 80-year-old kid. But to get them interested in model aviation, model rocketry, multi-rotor, and just various STEM aspects of our hobby. I think one of the best ways to grow this hobby is by illuminating the STEM aspect of remote control airplane, and then building your own airplanes, building a scratch-built airplane or buying a kit and building it, and trying to work this into the school curriculum, and introducing kids and teachers to these things. I think my goal with this stuff is to get kids interested in aviation, aeronautics, and aerospace. Although at the event, that's not just what we focus on. The big focus is aeronautics, aerospace, and aviation, but we also focus on robotics and some near space ballooning stuff and some other really, really fun activities. This year, we partnered with several schools. We partnered with Arizona State University, Embry-Riddle, a local technical high school called EVIT. They have an aviation program, and it's just going to be a great way for the community to see what's out there in education already to get their students involved in aviation, aeronautics, and aerospace. Let's see, my big goal is to try to, like I said earlier, get more of this into the K through 12 space so that kids aren't going off to Embry-Riddle for their first time and interested in UAV, UAS up at Embry-Riddle, and the first time they've ever touched a Spectrum controller is when they get to Embry-Riddle. I think that's a shame. I think those kids should have exposure much earlier on so that they can be much more productive students when they get up to Embry-Riddle. Let's see, what else do you want to know about the event? The difference from last time. Last time we did this event, it was held at an AMA field up in Mesa. It's a great field, great area, but it's out a little bit from the community, so a little bit harder to get to for people. Taking Flight this year is right here in the heart of Gilbert, basically, right in the community. Very, very large population base, very large student base. So I feel this will give us our best opportunity at outreach here. The other thing, this park is very well situated for park fly. So small, lightweight foam airplanes, and even some stuff with landing gear, but just not the big scale stuff that you would see at the AMA field. We're going to be missing that this year, the jet demos and that kind of stuff. But I think overall, I think the area where we're having the event is just a little bit better than the AMA field that we used to have the event at. Now, part of the reason why I'm holding this event here at the Gilbert Regional Park is there is land available at Gilbert Regional Park, and I'm trying hard. I'll be going to town board meetings and park and rec meetings and leaning hard to get Parks and Rec to put in a dedicated park fly field at this Gilbert Regional Park. And my big idea would be that this site would be open for RC airplane, multi-rotor, rocketry, and it would be large enough that those things could be separated from each other so that there's no conflict with multi-rotor operating at the same time as airplane. Again, I think the focus of this, what I'm trying to achieve at the park, would be more park fly, so it wouldn't be your traditional AMA field with a runway and the whole 9 yards. But I do want to make it a very comfortable place for people to be with covered picnic pavilions and power, and just make it a very, very nice park fly spot to fly our airplanes at. Let's see. Oh, the other thing that's different this time is I really reached out hard to the universities and local high schools to participate in the event, whereas the last event I didn't quite do that amount of outreach. So bringing in Embry-Riddle, Arizona State University, Chandler Gilbert Community College, EVIT, that's a change. The other change is I'm really trying to draw in the aerospace industry, the aviation industry, to the event, so that now we have, like this year we have space data. They'll be out there with their engineers, and the engineers are able to talk to the students about career choices and stuff like that. So I want more, I want this to more be like an all-encompassing, almost like a carnival or just a big event of all the way from a fourth grader can ask questions to a college kid can ask questions and get information about universities, get information about industry, what it's like to work in the industry. So that's my focus with this. I think that's all I got. Let's see, if you all have any questions, I'll provide my email to Dylan here, and feel free to shoot me an email, and potential future partners, or we're still looking for partners and sponsors this year. So if you're interested in that, I'll also provide Dylan the information for that. I'll provide Dylan with a brochure and with a map of the event as well. But thanks, Dylan. I totally appreciate the time here today. We're pre-recorded this, so we're on our way to Kauai right now. I look forward to watching the show when I get to Hawaii tonight. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Said, are you ready? Are you ready for iflyama?
Well, it is that time of the show where we tell you guys about the most awesome community on the face space, the Facebooks, whatever you want to call it. It's the iflyama Facebook group. You can head over to facebook.com/group/iflyama. If you're not yet a member of the iflyama Facebook group, just hit that join button, answer a couple of questions so we make sure that you are not a robot, because we don't want any robots. Lee, you're not a robot, right?
I am not a robot.
Oh, that sounded kind of robotic.
No, yeah. And please,
So,
when you sign up, when you join, make sure you check off all the boxes. I'm the guy who decides if you come in the gate of iflyama or not. So we just want to make sure everybody who's joining is legit.
Don't blame me. It ain't me. But look, you guys are going to want to come join us, because it is such a great time, and there's so much cool content. And this is the part of the show where we get to share with you some of the cool things that we found. Before we do that, I just want to stop for a second and thank Paul Kaup for that video that he shared with us and telling us about that event. I really want to make sure to thank him for that. I think that's going to be a cool event down there. But what's cool is that we're going to actually kind of continue on that same theme about getting education, or getting youth rather, involved in aviation with our picks this week. Lee, if you don't mind, I'll kick us off and tell everybody about what I found. And this is from our friends over at the Palm Beach Radio Control Association. We talk about Palm Beach all the time. They share so much great content in the iflyama Facebook group, and this is right up there. They just had an amazing swap meet they mentioned in this post, but next up on March 27th is their Intro to Flights Kids Day out at their field. They're going to have 5 trainers who are going to be giving out intro flights to kids. Boy Scouts are going to be there. They're going to have some games and prizes and activities, flight simulators, you name it. They're going to have that stuff going on out there. Again, that's March 27th, 8 a.m. to noon. What a great way to get the word out about an event like this than to share it in the iflyama Facebook group. I think that's a really smart way to do that. And they shared some photos that you're seeing on your screen now from some past Intro to Flights Kids Day events. And it just looks like they're having a great time out there. And I love that shirt. I learned to fly at palmbeachrc.com. Well done, guys. That's a great marketing, as they say. I thought that was great. So, Lee, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, I see your Palm Beach RC club, and I raise you a Tucson RC club, because Kevin Garland posted something very similar. He shared these photos rather of these kids having one heck of a day flying the Ugly Stick, a very great plane. I don't think anybody can tell you that thing's not flight worthy. It'll survive a lot of hits. I've seen some guys at the field, bashing those to death, but they fly great. I think those kids, they have some smiles on their faces because they haven't lost their landing gear or anything, right? So, yeah. But I think the part that got me was that, yes, this is a great theme about kids, but this club, this is the part that gets me. Their junior membership is over 20. Oh man, is it on the ground? I didn't see that. I was so busy looking at the stick.
What, we totally ruined your moment.
Maybe he picked it up from somebody else, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But you know what? What is it? You just get a hot glue gun or a couple of 5-minute epoxy. You're back into flying. But what I loved about it is that this club has 20 junior members. I think he said over 20 junior members. And I encourage all of you, check with your club, find out how many junior members you have. And if it's under 5, do what you can to increase that number. Talk with your community, talk with schools, find out if there are any STEM programs that you can assist with, do some community work. But that's amazing. I'd love to see our club go up to 20. I need one of my kids is a junior member, so that I'm doing my job. I've done my part, but I think that's great. So Kevin, you're a big advocate for the hobby. Thank you for sharing this. I always love seeing your posts in the iFly AMA group. So thank you very much for doing that.
Absolutely. Kevin and all those guys out there at the Tucson Club, man, they do such a great job at outreach and getting, youth involved. And it's funny because it's you always hear, and you hear it from random places where it's like, well, kids just don't want to go out and fly anymore. They just want to sit on their phones or sit on their Xbox or whatever the case may be. And it's like, man, here's proof that's not really that true. I mean, I see kids out flying all the time, and seeing photos like this where these kids are having a blast out there on the flight line, man, I can't get enough of that. So,
and I'm just going to plug
for sure.
I'm going to plug real quick. The photos you see here, folks, this is what Camp AMA looks like. So if you have some kids in your district that you'd like to sponsor, talk with your district VP. I can tell you District 8's already got their kid, and that's Jack Rivera. That's a kid that I found, and Joe Vermillion's helping us with building a kit for him. So, it's great to see these kids doing this activity, and I'd love for you to send these kids who are 13 to 17 to Camp AMA as well, because they get to have this energy, talk with kids that enjoy the same passions, and have fun with it. And if I can borrow your ear for a little longer, Matt.
Yeah, please do.
I'm going to steal the show for a second, because but it's still the same topic. Okay. Yeah. But I got a great email from a gentleman by the name of an AMA member, for Robert Creeder. He was our AMA member snapshot this week, and he sent me his snapshot, but he was just so passionate about this young man who was a member of their club, and he has seen where this hobby has taken this young man. And so I told him I'd call the young man. I said, let me talk with him and see what he's doing. And he was not lying. And guys, I have all these wonderful notes. I won't share all of them, but I'm going to give a shout out to, first off, the club, the Quaker Farms RC Flyers in Oxford, Connecticut, because Garrett Fleishman, the gentleman I'm going to tell you about right now, made it very clear to me that his work, his flying, his fun at their field is why he is a pilot today. And I'd like you to remember that, folks, because those of you who are at fields and flying and you have these young kids come in, you could be the reason why they continue with this hobby and aviation. And this young man it's a great story. So at 15, he started with the field, and he credits Bill Jensen and Robert Creeder for teaching him to fly and solo. And Bill Jensen, unfortunately, who's no longer with us, had a company called BJ's Model Engine Service. And some of you in the comments section may know about this, but he hired Garrett to come help him with servicing model airplane engines. So they worked on that for a while. So that kept his interest going. And I think I like this part. Garrett said every time he came to the field, more and more older members were giving him planes. He didn't have to really buy anything, because the other members were like swapping out planes, or they gave him crash planes. And he actually told me his favorite plane that was gifted to him was a Hangar 9 Fontana S90 that he says he still has to this day. And but let me just tell you about this kid. He goes from this club, he learns to fly, he wants to be a pilot. He then has a member who flies there, take him to the airport where he has a plane, and he shows him the plane, and he introduces him to a company called Tradewin Aviation, where he starts to work for them, like for washing planes at first. And now at 23, he has been to Embry-Riddle, graduated from Embry-Riddle. He's a standards captain and flight instructor for Tradewin Aviation. He flies their Pilatus PC-12 turboprop charter aircraft. He's a certified commercial pilot. He's instrument rated. He's a flight instructor, has over 1,800 hours. He has multi-engine certification for land. He's a skydiver and an aircraft dispatcher. Guys, what I just said, he's 23 years old. And I see that picture on the right. Hey, Matt, can you see this photo of him on the right where he's smiling?
Yeah.
He's inverted. Yeah. He's inverted.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. When that picture first came up, like my first reaction was like, I think he's inverted there. But then I just kind of I dismissed it and just kind of went off from there. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and
That's so
he
cool.
told me more. He's one of get this, Matt. He's one of the youngest type rated captains in a DC-3, and he's currently the vice president of Tunison Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization with a C-47 teaching about World War II aviation history with a C-47 called Placid Lassie. And it goes on. He's flown over 25 full-scale aircraft, and he's a qualified formation wingman. Guys, this Garrett guy, he's the story we need to be sharing all our clubs. You can find this 15-year-old kid who wants to fly airplanes, and then look where he takes his career. And he's still building his career. I mean, he has so many things he wants to do. He wants to be flying a P-51 solo, by the age of 30. He wants to work on getting his A&P certification, and then he hopes to move his way up through the company. Just letting you guys know, and I'm very passionate about the hobby too, and I see kids. This is a great topic for us about youth and aviation. You can make a difference. Those of you who are watching the comments or watching the future, anything you do at your field, anything you can do for youth to keep them happy, motivated, and loving this hobby is great. And I'm going to end with his quote that he told me, which is great. Passion is key. You need passion and drive. People will see the passion in your work, and they will give you what you need to make that happen. And those people at the club, those people at the at Tradewin, they gave him a lot of benefits, a lot of help, a lot of guidance. And this man he's working his dream. And that's great. I love that story. And Robert, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm glad I took the time to call him out. And again, motivation for all of you out there who love this hobby, share it with others.
Imagine if he had a negative experience that first time he came out to a field. You know what I mean? And we hear about that kind of stuff a lot. And it just so happens like this is what can happen if you provide a positive environment and a positive experience for a young kid who comes to the field for the first time. It turns into something like this. I mean, this is just an amazing story. Yeah, that's I'm so glad you shared that with us, Lee. That was pretty amazing.
Well, I'm talking to Kevin Garland. He had all those kids, those little smiley faces. Look at those kids. One of them could be following Garrett's footsteps, and I'd love to see that. I'd like to share more of these stories on iFly AMA and AMA Air.
Absolutely. Well, guys, if you have similar stories like this that happen out at your club, we encourage you guys to leave those down in the comments and share those with us. We'd love to hear more about them. Flying Fortress RC says, kids are the future of the hobby when us older members have to pass the torch to the next generation. Absolutely correct. That's absolutely right. Without them, this hobby doesn't exist. And I think it's so important to get them involved and get them excited and show them how fun aviation can be. So
it is. It's fun, guys. I'm a hobby addict. I'm not playing the full scale stuff, but this is so much fun, and pay it forward.
I would like to thank Mean Joe for channeling Whitney Houston for us there. Thank you so much for that, Mean Joe. We if next time, can you actually send us an audio clip of you singing it, because that would be even better. We love Joe. We kid because we care. Hey,
well, thank
guys,
you for letting me that. Thank you for lending me that time. I'm glad I got to do that.
I thank you for offering to do that. I think that was fantastic. Well, guys, to wrap up our iFly AMA segment, we want to let you guys know that the cover photo contest for the month of April is already in motion. Head over to facebook.com/group/iflyama. Get your amazing photos ready and submit them into the pin post at the top for your chance to become the cover photo for the month of April. It's awesome. I can't wait to see the amazing photos you guys share. Let's talk about Model Aviation Magazine, because it is time for a new issue to start hitting mailboxes here in just the next couple of weeks. And the digital edition, I think, is going to be out very, very soon, maybe today. Watch your email, watch your mobile device notifications to be notified when that goes live. But we've got a really cool issue in store for you guys for the month of April. On the cover, we're going to share with you right now is the Flex Innovations RV8. This is the 10E edition. This is from Greg Gimlick. He did the review on this aircraft and took that amazing cover photo, I might add, friend of the show, Greg Gimlick. Thank you so much for doing that for us. Any experience with that aircraft, Lee?
My son has a Hangar 9 RV8.
Oh,
Not that
nice.
one, not the Flex Innovations, but I'll tell you, I did see Greg's video, and that thing is nice. I commented on his on our YouTube video that was a sweet landing on that thing.
Yeah, we do have a video. Greg's review video is up on our YouTube channel, so make sure you're subscribed to get notified when those videos pop up. And there is some flight footage from that Flex Innovations RV8. So you'll get to see that in this month's issue. There's also a P40 in there that you guys are going to want to check out. It's a Park Flyer P40. So go check that out for sure. Lee, there's somebody else that has an article in here I think everybody's going to want to check out. I'm not sure if you've heard of them.
I pulled it up real quick, but some guy named Terry Doon, is that how you pronounce it? Did some quick reference sheets.
Something like that. Terry Doon sounds
I think he's new.
Oh, no. Terry Dunn. That's who that.
Dunn.
Yeah.
Dunn. Okay. Sorry about
Dunn.
that.
Terry Dunn. Yeah, he did a.
I'm calling my buddy out.
Love you, Terry.
Yeah,
he put a great article together about quick reference sheets for your aircraft, kind of laying out, like laminating a sheet that goes with every aircraft that tells you what kind of battery it uses, what radio it's bound to, flight times you get, all that cool stuff. It's a really interesting article. I think you guys are going to want to check that out.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with model memories. That's a little different setup. This is great where you can keep it with your plane so that you know like what you have to bring. Like, do you need a spar? Do you need to add weight to it? And what prop size it might have if you have a spinner on it, so you can't easily see. So yeah, it's a nice little.
It's little tips like that I love about about this hobby, is like hearing from different folks. Like, well, I do this little thing here that really helps me keep things organized and better. And it's like, man, those are the things I get the most use out of. So I love seeing those types of articles. There's also a really great article about the Omahawks Club out in Omaha, Nebraska. They were former AMA Club of the Month, you might recall. And they have a Labor Day air show every single year. It's their biggest event of the year for the Omahawks. And there's a whole article about how they put that on and what it does as well. So much amazing stuff happening in the April issue of Model Aviation. Again, if you're a digital subscriber, that should be available to you later today if it's not already available. And if you're a print subscriber, that'll be hitting your mailboxes here in the next couple of weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Lee, let's talk about some quick AMA news. There's some stuff about our Red Cross partnership. Let's see. Let me pull my notes up because I closed it by mistake.
Oh,
because
the AEDs.
That's how the AEDs. Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So you can learn more about the go for it. I love it. You just hand it off to me. I was so ready to talk about junior camp, and you want to hand me the AEDs instead. No, we have benefits to provide AEDs for your club. So go to modelaircraft.org/benefits to get that information. Guys, it's something that's very vital. It happens, unfortunately, and with the summer heat coming around, you got to be prepared. Sometimes it just happens. So be prepared. Have the AEDs handy. Go to the link there and learn more about getting them for your club.
Yeah, and if you guys, if you're not a club officer, maybe go check with your club safety officer or one of your other club officers and have them get in touch with us, and we can get you all the information that you need on that as well. AMA Junior Camp's coming up. Lee,
I'll take that too. I'll talk about that too. You take a breather. You've been doing such a great job. I don't give you credit enough, Matt, because you run that off. You just memorize everything. So take a break. But guys, junior camp's coming up. It was a great time last year. It's a virtual camp. So those of you who have kids between the ages of 5 and 13 can register now. You can go to amaflightschool.org/AMA-junior-camp. There's a registration button there. Registration is free. You can purchase a flight pack though from Pitsco. Is that correct? Did I pronounce that correctly?
I believe that's correct. Yep.
So you can purchase that and join along with the show, but you don't have to, but we highly recommend it. And the event takes place during the day between April 25th and 29th. And if I have the times correctly here, morning sessions are from 11 to 12 with afternoon sessions between 3 and 4. And we have special guests that come in and share their history of model aviation and what they're doing today. Usually it's really cool people like Red Jensen, and I know he's still building his little pylon racer in his garage, so maybe he'll show that too this year. So I highly encourage, if you have those little youngsters who are into aviation, again, keeping with our youth and aviation theme, go over to that link below and sign them up. Oh, and don't forget, but one more. Camp AMA is this summer. I'm part of that. I bring my kids. My kids will be going this year too. Registration hasn't opened yet. And you know what? For the life of me, I forgot the dates because I'm not looking at that. So I'm like you now. I'm going to have to pull up my date. I can't go back here. So Junior Camp AMA is coming up, and you will probably give me the link, or Dylan will very quickly because he's awesome. He's not. But I'll post Camp AMA before the end of this show. You take the next one, Matt.
I got the dates for you right here. It's going to be June 12th through the 18th.
All right, I better put that on my calendar because I'm driving there, so I got to make sure I get there on time.
Got to make sure that's on your calendar. Hey, I want to make sure to point out that you mentioned the times for.
What did he say? Producer.
So the time. Lee mentioned the times for those AMA Junior Camp sessions. Something to keep in mind, those are Eastern time zones, so 11 o'clock Eastern and 3 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, want to make sure everybody's clear on that one. But yeah, definitely go check those out. So producer Dylan and I are actually going to be doing some pre-production work on some of the Junior Camp materials you're going to see in the live streams. We're doing that tomorrow, so we're going to be getting a sneak peek of some of these cool activities that you guys are going to get to take part in. So be sure to sign up for that. Guys, NATS registration is open. We mentioned it, I think, on the last show as well, but you can go to modelaircraft.org/NATS to register if you're interested in competing in this year's National Aero Modeling Championships. Again, modelaircraft.org/NATS to get registered. And there's something else we wanted to share with you guys today, something that we've recently launched. And if you happen to come out to the International Air Modeling Center, whether it's for NATS or maybe it's the National Fun Fly that's going on in July, if you've wanted to come out and camp, there's a brand new web portal for you guys to get signed up and book your camping dates. And it's at modelaircraft.org. I found it this time /camping. Hey, so, you got it. Got a lot of windows I'm juggling here. modelaircraft.org/camping to get on there and book your camping reservations. There's no more having to call in and kind of doing a whole thing to make that happen. You can do that right from that web portal. So appreciate you guys taking advantage of that if you're interested in coming out to the IAC to do a little camping during your event.
I heard from our boss man that we had like over 100 reservations already put through the system.
I think so. I think I heard that as well. Yeah. So it's people are taking advantage and getting those dates locked in for themselves, because there's a lot of cool events going on at the IAC all through the year. So if you're interested in coming and camping and it's a great time, why not do it? So there you go. Make it a little easier for you. Well, Lee, that about wraps it up. Oh, modelaircraft.org/IAC for calendar events. Thank you for that, producer Dylan. No more producer fail for you.
Producer win.
Producer win. That's right. Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of AMA Air. We want to thank you guys so much for watching today. If you've enjoyed the show, we'd love it if you'd leave a comment down below. Let us know. Maybe click that like button, or if you haven't done so yet, there it is. Subscribe. We appreciate you do that.
Go out and have a great weekend. Hope the weather's getting better for you guys and get back to flying.
I know it's getting better here. Yes. We'll see you guys on the next episode. See you later.